If self-improvement actually worked the way people say, you wouldn't keep repeating the same patterns. You would not keep falling back into the same hole. When I was 17 years old, I discovered self-improvement, and honestly, it was the best thing that could have happened to me. I was a lost boy, I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. But that quickly changed the moment I got into self-improvement. I saw results in the gym. Girls started to talk to me very differently. One of the main things I wanted to delete from my life when I got into self-improvement was my porn addiction, because it was controlling me so much. I couldn't even talk to girls. I couldn't even speak to my family members properly because I knew that when I was locked in my room, I was doing some nasty ass shit behind their backs. It was affecting every part of my life, but I couldn't even keep 7-day streak. I thought self-improvement is going to fix this for me, when in reality, it made it worse. It started to be on my mind 24/7 to the point I couldn't even last one day. But the worst thing, bro, I noticed this pattern to repeat in every single aspect of my life, not with just the bad things, also with good things. I wanted to read more books. I read for 5 days, 10 pages a day, and then I stopped. And this happened with everything I wanted to change. Honestly, bro, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. Feeling literally trapped inside of your mind. I almost gave up on self-improvement because of this. But that very quickly changed one day when I was in the library and I was looking for some books to read because I just finished Atomic Habits. You know, that was one of the first books I've ever read. And honestly, that book was pretty good, but it didn't give me shit. So I was looking for something else to read right now. One of the books that was standing out from everything else was this black book with not really any fancy printing. So I picked it up from the shelf and it was literally called The Classic Guide to a New Life. And that clicked for me and it captured my attention so much that I instantly started reading it in the library, standing next to the fucking bookshelves. People were like walking by me and I couldn't even like move because I was so hypnotized from the text that was there, because I knew that's exactly what I want. So this is the book that I'm talking about. And I saw it like this in the bookshelf, and every book is like colorful, you know. So I saw this leather casing and shit, and it captured my attention. What this book was talking about is basically your self-image and how it affects you in literally every single aspect of your life. Because what your self-image is how you see yourself and what actions you take in your life. When I was reading that, it literally clicked in my brain. Oh shit, I see myself as somebody who is struggling with porn. So obviously, like, self-improvement, little nice habits are not going to help me. I need to change something deeper, something below that. I need to change my identity. I need to change how I see myself. This offer here is talking about visualizations, how they can reshape your reality. So I tried them, but it didn't work. Again, I felt lost. I felt like nobody can help me, not even like an author who is specifically writing a book about this. This book was hard to read and I didn't see any fucking results. So one day I'm working my job as a security guard. I'm guarding this airport, you know. I recorded a story about this. It's a very cool story. But I was basically sitting on like a field. There used to be an airport. And I was sitting on my chair guarding one of the entrances so that cars don't come. So I'm just sitting there and for some reason I grabbed this book with me there. I was reading it, you know, then playing with my phone, but I'm literally pissed off because this is a very hard read for me back in the day when I was reading, because I didn't used to be a good reader. I basically was reading one sentence and I got lost. So, but I look up from the book and I see like a little bit overweight lady coming my way. I thought she wants to ask me something like, oh, what is this place? Are they building something here? So I sat up from my chair and I started walking towards her. And the first thing she says, hello, are you reading? And I'm like, yeah, I'm reading right now. Why? And she tells me, I am so grateful for people like you who read, because nowadays everybody is on their phones. And then she said, I'm going to make you a coffee for this. But I say, no, I don't drink coffee, thank you. Okay, then tea. I'm gonna bring you some tea. It was literally 6:30 in the morning, bro. Are you serious? I declined the coffee offer, and then she literally says, okay, I'm gonna make you some breakfast. What can I do for you? Because I really appreciate people like you reading books. And I literally am pinching myself so that she doesn't see this, behind my back. So we get into a conversation and she seems like a very nice lady. She's a teacher. She teaches English to like younger students. So she asks me, what do you read? And I show her this book. She asks me, okay, can I open it? Can I touch it? And I say, of course. The moment she starts like reading the content of this book, she tells me, this is a very good book. This is psychology, right? We end up having a very nice conversation, but then she leaves, She probably like had to go to work, but she stopped her car here so she can talk to me. I'm literally looking at her as she's leaving. I can't find any words for that moment because for some reason, I don't know if you believe in God, but I do believe in God, and I feel like this was a sign for me to continue reading this book. Because yes, it was difficult, but there was something that I needed to learn, and I knew this. I realized this. Even though I didn't see any results from this book so far, I decided to give it another try. So about 1 month later, I've been practicing the lessons from here for about like a month. I wanted to change my porn addiction and my social nervousness. I didn't show it externally, but internally I was very nervous around people at this time. I wanted to change this too. I was about to go on this date with, let's call her Chloe. I was about to go on a date with Chloe, and she has this curly looking hair, She's very feminine, very like attractive, my type basically. So I decided to try one visualization exercise he describes in this book to completely change what's going to happen. Before I tell you what I did, let me quickly tell you, bro, visualizations work because they create imaginary scenarios, imaginary mental movies in your mind. But the trick is that your brain does not know the difference between a real experience and something you artificially create with your mind. It thinks it's the same. The type of mental movies you play to yourself on a daily basis, that's how your brain determines your self-image, who you are, how you act, how you think. So if you can change those mental movies stored in your brain, you can change everything. How you act, how you think, how you go about your life, how you feel. So I decided to give it a try. Before this date, I visualized exactly the scenario, how I'm going to kiss her for the first time, how I'm going to grab her by her hand, how I'm going to sit on this bench with the view of the city in the darkness until 1 a.m. and how we're gonna talk about stuff, how we're gonna laugh. I saw everything. I felt everything. I was literally immersed in that mental movie. And then I went on the date. And you know what? Everything I visualized happened exactly as I visualized it to be. And the freakiest part is, I felt exactly how I wanted to feel in my visualizations. I felt super confident, very masculine. I talked in a very nice, pleasant way, and she was very receptive to me. So after this experience, I realized that motherfucker, this is true. So I'm going to apply this to my porn addiction, and it fucking worked. Because like I told you before, I couldn't even do nofap for 7 days. But since that moment, I didn't do it for another 2 years. That's crazy. I just know, and I just realized from this experience that self-improvement is full of shit unless you also include identity shifting. So bro, back in the day, I used to listen to a lot of guys on self-improvement, and I used to follow a lot of advice that I told you to do. And honestly, some of it worked, like meditation, that's super good. I turned it into something better, but that's a topic for another video. But they didn't tell you that unless you change your self-image, you're always going to be binded to those habits to keep you like sane. Because the moment you stop doing them, your self-image is going to kick in, and what's gonna happen is you are going to fall back into those very habits you are trying to escape, or basically the life you are trying to escape. Because your self-image is everything that matters when it comes to self-improvement. And I've been on this shit for about 5 years. And even after this much time, nothing comes close to self-image work. Self-improvement without identity shifting is mental masturbation. These dumbass YouTubers are gonna tell you that, oh, Atomic Habits is the way of self-improvement. 1% better every day. Brother, shut the fuck up. If you think that 1% better every day is going to make any difference, you are fucking lying to yourself. Because 1% better every day, yes, you're gonna be 10% better 10 days later. But what's gonna happen is after those 10 days, you're gonna have 3 or 4 days when you absolutely fuck up everything and you're just gonna go back to zero. So what's gonna happen? Yes, you're gonna improve 10%, but then you're gonna decrease 20%. Because we have a tendency to like indulge when we actually fall off. Because I don't care if you believe this or not, this is true. There are people in this world who are trying to profit from making us retarded. There is a reason Instagram has an algorithm that prioritizes content which is very addicting. They are trying to rewrite our self-image with garbage reels, with 3 AM relatable fucking content. Do you actually realize why at 3 AM at this specific time you see those relatable reels? Chances are your bedtime is way past what it should be right now. This is all fucking tactics of to control you. Bro, we are in a fucking war. I don't think you know this, but they literally weaponize dopamine against us for their profits. This is no like fun shit. They study how to make you more glued to these apps so that they can make more money. Bro, everything is designed to make men weak. Every time we take control of our lives for a few weeks, we are called controlling. When we tell our girls to not wear revealing clothes, we are called toxic, misogynist. Do you see the pattern now, bro? They are going against men because men are the fucking driving force that change everything. Because once men wake up, they can no longer control the planet. Because men are literally how change in the world is made. So if you want to be taking control over in your relationships, in your finances, in your future marriage, that's what you want, then click off this video right now, because this channel is not for pussies. I make videos for men who are tired of living like fucking rats. We are in a war. Most men are not trying to fight. Most men are letting them win. And that's not what we do here. These are all fucking tactics to control us. But I know that this is the case, and that's exactly why I'm talking to you here on this channel. Because this is one of the only places left on the internet where truth is spoken. I wouldn't be surprised if this channel got... yeah, I'm not even gonna say this word. But there's only one thing you should take away from this video. I challenge you, my friend, to take 5 minutes of your day right now that you would waste on garbage reels anyways, to write exactly what type of man you would like to be. The type of way in which you would speak, the type of friends you would have, the type of clothes you would wear, the type of muscle mass you would have, the type of girls you would be interested in. The more detail you give, the better. But the trick that's gonna make all the difference is this. Visualize yourself being this person for literally only 5 minutes every single day for 28 days. You could have noticed that these videos are not normal. This is not self-improvement. This is literally going to change the world the moment we become more known. I've never seen anybody go into details like this. I don't tell you normal advice. I tell you things that will fucking change you. There's already hundreds of guys who woke up and gone through this transformation. Before you go, ask yourself one question. What would your highest self do right now? We go above and beyond. Wappa!